Hello, it's Sunday night, and I know I'm a little early. I'm Dr. Nancy Stanley, health coach and physical therapist, and I am excited to be here. I had to share these because this was what we did Saturday. We went over to a friend's, I call it a camellia farm. Some people say camellia, some say camellia. Hey, Mike, yeah. But we cut a few blooms. There were a few, okay. My tree is just full of blooms, and mine is the debutante. But these are all a different variety, but I just want you to look at them. They are so beautiful, and so thank you, Harry and Jackie, for sharing these, yeah. And I look forward to going back in a couple of weeks when everything is in bloom. But tonight I'm going to share with you, I want to give you some information because I get a lot of questions about this, a lot of questions. Is spaghetti keto? Well, first of all, we know that spaghetti pasta is not keto, okay? Pasta is not keto. It's flour and it's lots of carbs. And I don't even know how many because I don't even look at that stuff anymore. But you can look on the side of the box. I don't even have anything to look at to see how many carbs. I do know this, that one potato is about 29 carbs, or maybe 30, I don't know, a lot of carbs, okay? So I want to tell you that you can have spaghetti if you have it in a healthy form, okay? So first of all, you need to know about spaghetti squash, and that's what this is. I cooked this today in the Instant Pot on 15 minutes. Put a little bit of water in there. I cut it in half so I didn't have to cut it all because it's really hard to cut. And this is a half a cup. So there's 7 grams of carbs in a whole cup. So that means I'm getting, in a half a cup, I'm getting, we'll just say 3.5 grams, all right? So here's my serving bowl. I'm going to dump the spaghetti squash over in there. Now you could have a whole cup if you're really, really hungry, but I'm going to be honest with you. Unless you're a bricklayer or, just played a football game or, whatever, yeah, how do I? So Hope's asking me how does she find my Facebook Live? Somebody message Hope if you can, Hope Murphy, and tell her how to get on here. All right, so I'm just going to I'm just going to spread this spaghetti squash around. So after I cooked it, I did add some salt to it. All right, so now I'm going to add the sauce. So I'm adding a half a cup of sauce. Now this is where most of your carbs are. And the reason this has so many carbs, which it doesn't have a lot, all right, I'm about to show you how to look for your carbs, okay? Because on the keto diet, especially the healthy keto diet, you want to get 20 or less a day if you're really trying to shred fat. Now, if you're really, really trying to shred fat, you can go down to 0 carbs, okay? That's pretty much the Atkins diet where you're just eating meat and protein, protein and fat, okay? That's not healthy in my mind, okay? So we eat healthy keto, which is meat and vegetables, all right? And I'm going to tell you in a few minutes, so if remind me why I don't give out meal plans, all right? Let me just go ahead and tell you why. The reason I don't give out a meal plan is, first of all, if I gave you a meal plan, the first thing that I would hear if I gave it to a group of people is they would pick it up and look at it and they'd say, well, I don't like eggs. Or if, say, for lunch it was asparagus and grilled chicken. Well, I don't like chicken. And then maybe for supper it was spaghetti. Well, I don't like spaghetti. So that's why I don't do a meal plan. I give a lot of recipes. I mean, I've got so many recipes that I've done, and actually I'm going to get them on YouTube so you can see them. Meatloaf, salmon croquettes, salmon stew, just on and on, like the spaghetti tonight. So then you can pick what you want. But really, it's all about if you want to drop fat, if you want to get rid of that around the middle, you've got to get your carbs down because it's the insulin releasing into your body that's causing your body to store fat. Insulin is a fat storing hormone, okay? So back to the recipe. All right, so we already said I did the spaghetti squash. Some of you might say, I don't like spaghetti squash. I don't know why you wouldn't like it. Honestly, it doesn't have a lot of taste, okay? All right, so I put a half a cup of that, which is 3.5 grams of carbs. So remember, we're trying to keep our carbs below 20. And then I'm going to put a half a cup of this spaghetti sauce. And this is delicious. Now, I don't make mine from scratch, and shame on me, but I just love it. I use this organic, or I might use Paul Newman or whatever it is. But here's how you find out how many carbs you got. You look on here, let me put my glasses on, and you go to carbs, and it says total carbs 8 grams. Now, that is in a serving size. It's not for the whole bottle. It's in a serving size. So what I did, I browned 2 pounds of meat. I used 2 pounds of grass-fed organic beef. Lots of good fat in it. You want to have good fat. I added this spaghetti sauce to it, and then I added a can of tomato paste. I love tomato paste. It's so rich. And this one has, this whole can has 5 grams. So in my little half a cup, I've probably got 8 grams in a half a cup, and let's just say 1/4 of a gram. I'm not going to even count that. I'm just going to say 4 grams, and so I've got 7 grams of carbs in this bowl of spaghetti. Now, what am I fixing to do? Don't you like that fixing? That's what we do in South Georgia. We fixing to do something. All right, so what I'm fixing to do is make this spaghetti healthy, all right? So actually, I dumped that over there. I'm gonna take it back. Let me tell you why. Because I want it to be healthy. And here's what I'm gonna do to it. I'm gonna add a bag of frozen organic spinach. This comes from Walmart. Or you can use fresh spinach that you've wilted. So I put it in a glass dish. I don't want to heat it in the microwave in plastic. Put it in a glass dish and heated it, okay? And then I'm going to dump this into my spaghetti. And you may just be going, oh my gosh, my family wouldn't eat that. Well, how do you know? You know, don't even talk about it. Just put it in there and stir it up. And I'm just going to tell you, my husband says, I don't even taste it. And he's got a pretty sensitive taste buds. So just stir it up in there. And then I'm going to take my half a cup again. I'm going to stir it up good now. So I don't have this over the heat, but if I had it over the heat, it would, combine in there a lot. I'm going to dip out a half a cup. I'm going to dump it back on my spaghetti squash. I'm going to spread it around. And I'm not making this too pretty because I had to. And then I'm going to add some beautiful Parmesan cheese. Now you see this cheese is flaky. I'm going to put that on top. And goodness gracious, who wouldn't love that? So didn't we say I've got 3.5, 4, 7.5, 8 grams of carbs, and this is spaghetti, okay? Totally within my limit. So I just want to encourage you, don't get too discouraged about not being able to have pasta and bread and all of that. I've got people that in my challenges that have said to me, I never would have thought I could do without bread or pasta. And now they're like, I don't even want it anymore. And that's the way I was about bread. I mean, I could just live off bread and good butter. I really could. Maybe a little cheese. And I never have bread anymore. It's just because I want to be healthy. I want to feel good. And I don't miss it. I don't miss it, okay? If I go to a nice restaurant every now and then, if we go to Elements, I might have the bread, but it's okay. I mean, I don't just, oh my gosh, I gotta have it. If I go to a restaurant and they ask me and I just say don't bring it. Because if it's sitting there on the table, there's a very good chance I'm gonna have it, okay? Yeah, I see that light. Hey Connie, hey Rhonda, hey Carmela, hey Jay and Vicky. Okay. So here you go, healthy keto, healthy spaghetti, because the spinach carbs don't count. In our healthy keto version, you can have meat and vegetables as long as they are leafy greens, okay? Not squash, Not so squash is that those carbs count because it is a starchy vegetable, okay? Zucchini and squash count as starchy vegetables, so you have to count those carbs. But you don't have to count these carbs. So let me see how many carbs are in this spinach. This says a total of 4 grams of carbs in a half a cup. So I probably in this dish I made, there's probably a fourth of a cup, but I don't count those carbs, okay? And yeah, so that's all I wanted to talk to you about tonight. I'm about to jump on another course that I teach, but I hope if you live in the South, or you can grow them all up and down the East Coast, get you some camellias. Aren't these beautiful? Here's one. I'm going to show it to you up close. That is actually variegated. Look at it. It's so beautiful. And look at this one. It's almost perfect. Almost perfect. Just so pretty. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you'll enjoy some spaghetti and get the right information. So here's what I like to say. What you don't know is what's hurting you. And what you don't know is that there are things you can have, like spinach and other things, that are healthy, and you don't count those carbs, and so you don't deprive yourself of things that would really help you, okay? Have a great night, and I will see you probably tomorrow night. Not sure what I'm cooking, but it's going to be good. I'm really planning this week to maybe do some salmon stew. It is Thanksgiving, so I may cook up my pumpkin dessert, so you'll have something to enjoy. So we'll talk soon, and have a great night.